The nightmare always started the same way. Sand in his mouth, the weight of 70 pounds of gear pulling him down. Voices crackling through the radio, Ryan's voice, clear, calm, saying his name one last time before the world turned white with fire. Cole Brennan woke up at 3:17 in the morning, chest-heaving sheets soaked through. His right hand had already found the Glock under his pillow before his brain caught up with his body. Training, muscle memory, the kind that never leaves even when you want it to. He sat there in the dark of his cabin, listening to the wind tear through the Montana pines like something alive and angry. The blizzard had been building for 2 days. Weather Service said it would be the worst storm Whitefish had seen in 20 years. Cole believed it. The temperature had dropped to 15 below zero, the kind of cold that turned breath to ice before it left your lungs. He got up. No point trying to sleep again. The nightmares always came in clusters, 3 or 4 a night, each one leaving him more hollowed out than the last. He pulled on thermal layers, thick socks moved through the cabin without turning on lights. His body knew the space. 14 months he had lived here. 14 months since he left the Navy. 14 months since Afghanistan, since Ryan. The coffee maker gurgled to life. Cole stood at the kitchen window, watching snow pile against the glass in drifts that climbed higher every hour. Somewhere out there, past the tree line, past the frozen lake, the rest of the world kept turning. Out here, time moved different, slower. Or maybe it just hurt less when you stopped paying attention to it. He heard the sound at 4:30, a scratch at the back door, not frantic, deliberate, patient, the way Ranger always asked for things. Cole opened the door and cold hit him like a fist. The German Shepherd stood there, snow already covering his dark coat, making him look ghost pale in the porch light. In his mouth, careful and precise, he held a carrot. One of the ones Cole had left on the counter the night before. "What are you doing, boy?" Ranger did not wait for permission. He stepped past Cole, moved through the kitchen, and went straight to the pet door Cole had installed 6 weeks after adopting him. The dog had been underweight, then quiet, with eyes that tracked movement the way only military dogs tracked movement. The shelter had not known much about him. Found wandering near the highway, no chip, no tags, no history. Cole had not been looking for a dog. He had gone to the shelter because his sister had asked him to. One of those welfare checks disguised as a favor. She worried, everyone worried. But the moment he saw Ranger sitting alone in the back kennel, something clicked. Recognition, maybe. Or just two broken things recognizing each other. The dog went through the pet door without hesitation. Cole grabbed his coat, pulled on boots, followed. By the time he stepped outside, Ranger was already 20 yards ahead, moving with purpose through snow that came up past his chest. Not wandering, not exploring, going somewhere. Cole followed. The blizzard swallowed sound. No cars, no voices, just wind and the crunch of snow under boots in the shape of a dark dog cutting through twilight. They moved past the road, past the tree line, into the stretch of woods that separated Cole's cabin from the main highway. Ranger never looked back, never slowed, just kept going like he had done this 1,000 times before. Then he stopped. Cole almost missed it. The shape in the snow, small, huddled, wrong. His training kicked in before his conscious mind registered what he was seeing. He moved fast, dropping to his knees, brushing away powder that had already started to bury her. An old woman, maybe late 60s, thin coat, no gloves. Her skin had gone past pale into something gray and waxy. Hypothermia. Late stage, she was barely breathing. Ranger stood over her body, positioned between her and the wind. His hackles were up, not in aggression, but in something else. Protection mode. The way military dogs guarded wounded soldiers. Cole had seen it before. In Kandahar, in Helmand, in a dozen places that all blurred together now into one long stretch of sand and blood and brothers who did not make it home. He checked her pulse. Faint. Too faint. He looked around. No houses, no lights, Nothing but trees and snow and a storm that showed no signs of stopping. The highway was half a mile back. His cabin was closer, maybe 400 yards. He made the decision in 2 seconds. Cole lifted her. She weighed almost nothing. Her head lolled against his shoulder. He could feel how cold she was even through his coat. Hypothermia did not wait, did not negotiate. You had minutes, maybe less, before the body just gave up. He moved fast. Ranger stayed close, breaking trail where the drifts got deep, circling back when Cole slowed. The wind fought them every step. Snow came sideways, blinding, turning the world into nothing but white noise and cold. Cole counted steps, focused on breathing, on moving, on the weight in his arms and the dog at his side, and the cabin that had to be close now had to be. The porch light appeared like salvation. Inside, warmth hit like a wall. Cole laid her on the couch, grabbed every blanket he owned, started the fireplace. Her core temperature would be dangerously low. Warming her too fast could kill her. He knew that, but leaving her cold would definitely kill her. So he worked, carefully, deliberately, the way he had been trained. Ranger stood guard by the door, alert, ears up, eyes moving, still in mission mode. Cole stripped off her wet coat, her shoes, got her wrapped in dry blankets, put another log on the fire. Her pulse was still there, still fighting. He checked his phone, no signal. The storm had taken out the cell towers. Landline was dead too. The road to town would be impassable for at least another day, maybe two. They were on their own. He sat there watching her breathe, watching the color slowly start to come back to her face. Ranger finally relaxed, moving closer to the fire, but his eyes never left the woman, like he was checking on her, making sure. Cole leaned back exhausted. The adrenaline was wearing off, leaving him hollow. He looked at the dog, at the carrot still sitting on the floor where Ranger had dropped it. How did you know she was out there? The dog did not answer, just watched, waiting. She woke up at dawn, her eyes open, slow, confused, searching the cabin like she did not know where she was. Cole stayed in the chair across from her, hands wrapped around cold coffee, giving her space. It took her a minute to focus. When she did, her gaze went past him, found the dog, and something shifted in her expression. Fear fell away. Her mouth opened, then closed, then opened again. Ryan. The word came out broken, barely a whisper. You came back. Cole felt something cold settle in his chest. The name. That name. He stood up slowly, hands visible, non-threatening. Ma'am, I'm Cole. This is Ranger. We found you in the snow last night. She was not listening. Her eyes were locked on the dog. Tears started running down her face, silent and steady. I knew you would come back. I knew you wouldn't leave me. Cole looked at Ranger. The dog had moved closer to the couch tail, low ears back. Not scared, sad. If dogs could look sad, that was what this was. Ma'am, do you know where you live? Do you have family we can call? She reached out, one shaking hand. Ranger moved close enough for her to touch his head. Her fingers found his fur, and she made a sound that was half sob, half laugh. My boy. My good boy. Cole waited. Something was very wrong here. The way she looked at the dog, the name she called him. Ryan. That name meant something. Had to. The storm raged outside. The cabin creaked under the weight of wind and snow. And in the firelight, an old woman held onto a dog, like he was the only thing keeping her tethered to the world. Cole gave her time. Eventually, she fell back asleep. Exhaustion, hypothermia recovery, her body shutting down to heal. He covered her with another blanket, checked her pulse again. Steady, stronger. He needed answers. The dog's collar was old, worn, but there was something underneath the outer layer. Cole worked it carefully, found a second collar hidden beneath. Tactical nylon, faded, and on it stamped in letters that had almost worn away a name. Ranger. Same name Cole had given him. Coincidence. Had to be. But then he found the tag. Military issue. Property of U.S. Armed Forces. And below that, a phone number so faded Cole had to squint to read it. He tried calling it anyway. Deadline? Disconnected. But now he knew. Ranger was not just a dog, he was a military working dog. Trained, deployed, and judging by the wear on that collar, he had seen combat. The question was how he ended up in a Montana animal shelter with no records and no history. Cole looked at the woman sleeping on his couch, looked at the maze sitting guard beside here. Who is Ryan? The blizzard broke on the third day. Sarah Mercer. That was her name. It came back to her in pieces. Some things clear, some things lost in fog. She had dementia, she told him. Some days better than others. Some days she remembered everything. Some days she did not remember her own name. Today was a good day. She sat at his kitchen table, hands wrapped around tea, and told him about her son. Captain Ryan Mercer, Navy SEAL, deployed 6 times. Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, places she could not name and would not have been allowed to know about even if she could. He died 8 months ago, she said. Helicopter crash somewhere over the South China Sea. Training exercise gone wrong. Cole felt his coffee cup slip, caught it before it fell. His hands were shaking. What unit? SEAL Team 6. She said it quiet, proud and broken at the same time. Cole's world tilted. SEAL Team 6, his team, his brothers. The mission that went wrong. The one that took everyone but him. What was his name again? Ryan Mercer. Cole stood up, walked to the window, tried to breathe. The room felt too small, too hot. He could hear Ryan's voice in his head, calm, steady, calling his name over the radio, telling him to move, to go, to get out before the whole building came down. He had not saved Ryan, had not even tried. The explosion had thrown him 20 feet into a wall. By the time he came to the building, was gone. Everyone inside it was gone. Command said there were no bodies, nothing to recover. 17 men lost. Cole Brennan, the only survivor. Guilt was not a strong enough word for what he carried. Ma'am, I need to know something. The Doug, Ranger. Was he your son's? Sarah looked at the German shepherd lying by the fire. She smiled. That's his dog. Ryan raised him from a puppy, took him everywhere when he was home. She paused. When Ryan died, I tried to keep him, but I couldn't. I was forgetting to feed him, forgetting he was even there. The neighbors called someone. They took him to a shelter. When? 3 months ago, maybe 4. Time gets confused. Cole's mind raced. He adopted Ranger 5 months ago. The shelter said the dog had been there 2 weeks. Found wandering. No owner. The math did not add up unless... He looked at the dog, at Sarah, at the carrot still sitting on his counter. Sarah looked at Ranger. Something shifted in her expression. Softer. Knowing. But he kept coming back, even after they took him. The neighbors said they saw him on the morning bus, riding into town, getting off at my stop, staying for a few minutes, then leaving again, like he was checking on me. Cole's chest tightened. How long? Months, 5, maybe 6. The bus driver never kicked him off. Said the kids loved him. Called him Snack because he always brought food. She smiled. Sad. My Ryan's dog, still on mission even when his handler was gone. Cole needed to see her house, needed to understand. The storm had passed, but the roads were still buried. It would take county plows 2 days to clear the main highway, longer for the side roads. But Sarah's house was not far, she told him. 1/4 mile past the highway, white fence, blue shutters, near the bus stop. He could walk it. Ranger could lead him. They left at noon. The sun was out, but the cold was brutal. 15 below, the kind that burned exposed skin in minutes. Cole bundled up. Left Sarah by the fire with food and water and strict instructions not to leave the cabin. Ranger knew the way. They cut through the woods following tracks that were already filling in with fresh powder. The dog moved with certainty, no hesitation. This was a path he had taken before, many times. The house appeared through the trees, small, old, paint peeling. The white fence Sarah mentioned was half buried in snow. The blue shutters hung crooked. It looked abandoned. Cole walked up to the porch. The door was unlocked. Inside, the air was stale and cold. The heat had been off for days, maybe weeks. He moved through slowly. Living room, kitchen, bedroom, everything covered in dust. Mail piled up on the counter, dishes in the sink, and pictures everywhere. On the walls, on the mantle, on every flat surface. A young man in uniform. Dark hair, strong jaw, eyes that looked like they had seen too much too soon. Ryan Mercer. Cole picked up one of the photos. His hands were shaking again. He knew that face, had served with that face, had watched that face smile and bleed and fight and finally disappear in fire and smoke and chaos. Ryan had been his spotter, his brother, the one who stayed calm when everything went to hell, the one who pulled Cole out of 3 firefights and never asked for anything in return except trust. And Cole had left him behind. The guilt hit fresh, raw. He sat down hard on the couch photo still in his hand. Ranger sat beside him, quiet, patient. "Why did you bring me here, boy?" The dog looked at him, just looked. And Cole understood. This was not random. Ranger finding him at the shelter, Ranger coming home with him, Ranger leading him to Sarah in the snow. This was a mission, Ryan's last mission. Cole found the laptop in the bedroom. Old, password protected. He tried a few combinations. Ryan's birthday, service number. Nothing worked. Then he tried Ranger's name. The screen unlocked. Files, hundreds of them, documents, photos, audio recordings, all dated within the last year, all marked classified. Cole opened one at random. Land acquisition records, Whitefish County, mineral surveys, geological reports, lithium, millions of tons of it, right under Sarah Mercer's property. Another file, emails between someone named Richard Blackwell and a county official. Offers to buy, rejected, new offers, still rejected, the tone getting sharper, more aggressive. A third file, audio, Cole hit play, a man's voice, cold, professional. "She won't sell. We need another approach." Another voice, familiar. It took Cole a second to place it. Deputy Lucas Thornton, local law enforcement. "Give me 2 months. I'll make it happen." "How? Does it matter? She is old, sick, accidents happen." Cole's blood went cold. He kept digging, found more. Photos, timestamps, license plates, a whole surveillance operation. Ryan had been investigating, building a case. Against who? Against what? Against the people trying to take his mother's land. And then Cole found the last file. Audio dated 80 months ago, the day before the mission that killed everyone. Ryan's voice, tired, scared. "If you are hearing this, something happened to me. I need you to know it was not an accident. I found something. People who will do anything to keep it buried. I am sending Ranger to find one of my teammates. Someone I trust, someone who will finish this." A pause, Cole. "If this gets to you, protect my mother. Finish what I started. Do not let them win." The recording ended. Cole sat there, numb. The laptop screen glowed in the dim room. Outside, wind rattled the windows. Ranger rested his head on Cole's knee. Everything made sense now. Ryan had not died in combat. He had been murdered. And before he died, he had trained Ranger. Sent him out, sent him to find Cole. A dog on a mission, across states, across months, until he found the one person Ryan trusted to finish the job. Cole looked at Ranger. "You have been looking for me this whole time." The dog's tail moved. Just once. They walked back to the cabin in silence. Cole's mind was racing. Plans, options, threats. Ryan had been killed to keep him quiet. Sarah was in danger. had been in danger for months, maybe longer. And now Cole was involved. He should walk away. Call the FBI. Let professionals handle it. That was the smart move, the safe move. But Ryan's voice kept playing in his head. Protect my mother. Finish what I started. Brothers did not leave brothers behind. Not even dead ones. The knock came on the fourth day. Cole opened the door to find two people standing on his porch. A woman in her mid-40s dressed too nice for Montana winter. Pressed suit, polished shoes already dusted with snow. Behind her, a man in a deputy's uniform. Older, maybe late 40s, weathered face, eyes that tracked everything. The woman smiled. Professional. Cold. Mr. Brennan, I am Patricia Caldwell. Social Services. This is Deputy Lucas Thornton. We are here about Sarah Mercer. Cole kept his expression neutral. He had dealt with bureaucrats before, knew how they worked. What about her? We received a report that she has been staying with you. We need to evaluate her living situation. She nearly froze to death in a blizzard. I brought her here until the roads cleared. Patricia's smile did not move. That is very kind of you. But Mrs. Mercer has dementia. She requires professional care. We have been trying to place her in a facility for months. She does not want to go to a facility. With respect, Mr. Brennan, she is not capable of making that decision. Her condition has deteriorated significantly. She is a danger to herself. Deputy Thornton shifted his weight. His hand rested on his belt. Casual. But Cole noticed everything. We will need to take her into protective custody, Patricia continued. Arrange proper placement. Not happening. The smile finally cracked. Mr. Brennan, you are not family. You have no legal standing here. We can do this the easy way, or we can involve the courts. Either way, Mrs. Mercer is coming with us. Cole stepped outside, closed the door behind him, stood between them and the cabin. You want to take her, you go through me. Thornton's eyes narrowed. That's a threat. That's a fact. Patricia pulled out a folder, handed it to him. You have 72 hours to petition for guardianship. If you fail to meet the legal requirements, Mrs. Mercer will be placed in county care. Those are the rules, Mr. Brennan. I do not make them. I just enforce them. She turned. Thornton followed. They walked back to their SUV, black, tinted windows, government plates. Before they drove off, Thornton looked back, made eye contact with Cole, held it just long enough to send a message. We know who you are. The SUV disappeared down the road. Cole stood there cold, seeping through his coat. Ranger appeared beside him. The dog's ears were pinned back. A low rumble built in his chest. Easy, boy. But Ranger did not relax. He moved to the edge of the porch, sniffing, searching. Then he froze. Cole followed his gaze. There, under the porch railing, small, black, plastic, a tracking device. They had not come to check on Sarah. They had come to find her. And now they knew exactly where she was. Cole crushed the tracking device under his boot. The plastic cracked. Electronics died. But the damage was already done. They knew where Sarah was. They knew Cole had her. And judging by the way Deputy Thornton had looked at him, they knew he was not going to hand her over quietly. He went back inside. Sarah was sitting by the fire hands wrapped around tea, staring into the flames. Ranger lay at her feet. The dog's ears were still back, alert, waiting. We need to talk. Cole sat across from her, pulled out his phone, showed her the photos he had taken at her house, the laptop files, the recordings, the evidence Ryan had collected. They want your land, the lithium deposits, Blackwell, Thornton, Patricia. They are all connected. Sarah's hands tightened around the cup. She looked at him, eyes clear, sharp. I know about the land. Ryan told me before he died. That is why he started investigating. Cole leaned forward. There is something else on these files. Audio. From the day before the helicopter crash. He played Ryan's final recording. Ryan's voice filled the cabin. If you are hearing this, something happened to me. I need you to know it was not an accident. I found something. People who will do anything to keep it buried. I am sending a ranger to find one of my teammates. Someone I trust. Someone who will finish this. Cole, if this gets to you, protect my mother. Finish what I started. Do not let them win. When it ended, Sarah was crying, silent tears. He knew she whispered. He knew they would kill him, and he sent Ranger to find me. Sarah nodded. You were the only one he trusted to finish this. The room went quiet, just the fire crackling, wind against the windows. Ranger shifted closer to Sarah. She reached down, ran her fingers through his fur. Cole looked at Ranger. The dog's eyes were locked on him, steady, unblinking. He pulled up the files on his phone again, went through them one by one, land records, mineral surveys, email chains, audio recordings. Ryan had built a case, a solid one, enough to bury Blackwell and everyone working with him. But he had died before he could use it. We need to get this to the FBI. Sarah shook her head. Ryan tried that. He sent everything to a field office in Helena. 2 weeks later, his helicopter went down. Whoever is behind this, they have reach. They have connections. We cannot trust the system. Then what do? We expose them. Publicly. Make it so big they cannot bury it. How? Sarah smiled. It was small, sad, but real. You are a firefighter. You know how to fight fires. This is just a different kind of fire. The plan came together over the next 2 days. Cole would gather more evidence, document everything, build on what Ryan had started. Then they would go public. News outlets, social media, every platform they could reach. Make the story too loud to ignore. But first they needed leverage. Cole started with the property records. Sarah's land was 80 acres, most of it wooded, but the geological surveys showed lithium deposits running deep under the eastern section. Millions of tons, worth billions if extracted properly. Blackwell had shell companies, tons of them, all tied back to a single investment group based in Denver. Cole dug deeper, found connections to 3 other properties in Whitefish County, all owned by elderly residents, all facing pressure to sell. 2 had already caved. 1 had died under suspicious circumstances 6 months ago. The pattern was clear. Next, Cole looked into Deputy Thornton. Service record, clean, awards, commendations. On paper, he was a model officer, but his financials told a different story. Bank deposits, large ones, regular, no clear source, and his ex-wife had filed a restraining order 3 years ago. Domestic violence. Charges dropped after a settlement. Not so clean after all. Patricia Caldwell was harder. She kept her life private. No social media, no public records beyond her employment. But Cole found her connection up to Blackwell through property transfers. She had sold him land twice in the past 5 years. Below market value. Favors called in. Debts paid. Everyone was dirty. Cole compiled everything into a single encrypted file, backed it up, sent copies to 3 different secure servers. If anything happened to him, the information would still get out. But he needed more than data. He needed proof they were actively trying to hurt Sarah. He did not have to wait long. The fire started at 2 in the morning. Cole woke to Ranger barking. Not the warning bark, the danger bark. The one that meant move now or die. He rolled out of bed, grabbed his boots, smelled smoke before he saw it. The back of the cabin was burning. Cole grabbed Sarah, got her outside. The cold hit like a wall, but the heat from the flames was worse. Fire climbed the wooden walls, fast, too fast. This was not an accident. Ranger was already moving, circling the cabin, nose down, searching. Cole called 911, gave the address, grabbed the fire extinguisher from his truck, started spraying, but the fire was too big, too hot. Accelerant. Had to be. By the time the volunteer fire department arrived, the back half of the cabin was gone. The fire chief walked the perimeter, found the gas can hidden in the brush, found the burn pattern, looked at Cole with questions in his eyes that he did not ask out loud. You got enemies, Brennan, more than I thought. The sheriff showed up an hour later. Not Deputy Thornton. Sheriff Tom Anderson, older, gray hair, steady eyes. He looked at the damage, looked at Sarah wrapped in blankets in the front seat of Cole's truck, looked at Cole. This was not an accident. No, sir. You know who did it. I have suspicions. Care to share? Not yet. Anderson studied him for a long moment, then nodded. Be careful, son. Whoever did this, they are not playing games. Neither am I. After everyone left, Cole walked the perimeter with Ranger. The dog stopped at 3 different spots, pawed at the ground. Cole dug, found footprints, boot treads, fresh, leading back into the woods. Someone had watched the cabin burn, made sure it took. Cole followed the trail. Half a mile into the trees, he found tire tracks. SUV, same tread pattern as the vehicle Patricia and Thornton had driven. They were not even trying to hide it anymore. Back at the cabin, Sarah sat in the truck with the heater running. Cole climbed in beside her. His hands were shaking. Not from cold, from rage. They tried to kill you. She nodded. They have been trying for months. Little things. Gas left on. Stairs that suddenly need repair. A fall that could have been much worse. I thought I was imagining it. Thought the dementia was making me paranoid. But Ryan knew. He knew they would not stop. Cole's jaw clenched. We are not staying here. Not safe anymore. Where do we go? I have a place. Old hunting cabin my father owned. Up in the mountains. No one knows about it. Off-grid. We can regroup there. They loaded what they could salvage into Cole's truck. Clothes, food, the laptop. Ranger jumped into the back seat. Sarah sat up front. Cole drove. The cabin was an hour north, deeper into the mountains. The road was barely passable. Snow piled high on both sides. But the truck made it. 4-wheel drive, studded tires, built for this. The hunting cabin was small, 1 room, wood stove, no electricity, but it had walls and a roof and no one would think to look for them here. Cole got a fire going. Sarah settled into the only chair. Ranger lay across the doorway, guard position. They sat in silence for a while, just breathing, just existing. Then Sarah spoke. Ryan left something for you. What? She reached into her coat, pulled out a small package wrapped in cloth, handed it to Cole. He found this before he died. Told me to give it to whoever came to help. I think he knew it would be you. Cole unwrapped the cloth. Inside was a USB drive, military issue, encrypted, and attached to it a note, Ryan's handwriting. Cole, if you are reading this, I am gone. Everything you need is on this drive. Finish it. Protect my mother. Trust Ranger. He will lead you where you need to go. Semper Fi, brother. Cole's hands shook. He looked at the drive. At Sarah, at Ranger. Do you have a way to read this? Sarah pulled out an old laptop, battery-powered. Ryan had left it with her, just in case. Cole plugged in the drive, entered the password Ryan had written on the note. The files opened. Video, audio, documents, more than what Cole had found at Sarah's house. This was everything. Recordings of Blackwell making threats, photos of Thornton accepting cash payments, bank records showing Patricia funneling money through fake charities. A complete conspiracy, documented, time-stamped, undeniable, and at the end, one final video. Ryan, sitting in his truck, nighttime. He looked tired, scared. Cole, if you are watching this, they got me. I tried to do this the right way, tried to go through channels, but they are everywhere. FBI, local government, even some of my own command. I do not know who to trust anymore. So I am trusting you. Get this to someone clean, someone outside their reach. Make them pay, and please take care of my mom. She is all I have left. Ranger will help. He is trained for this. Follow him. He knows what to do. I am sorry I could not finish this myself. Semper Fidelis. The video ended. Cole sat there, numb, the weight of it crushing down. Ryan had known he was going to die, had planned for it, had set everything in motion to make sure justice still happened even after he was gone. And Cole was the failsafe. He looked at Ranger. The dog was watching him, waiting. You have been carrying this the whole time. Ranger's tail moved once. Cole copied the files, made backups, encrypted everything. Then he started planning. They could not go to local law enforcement. Thornton was dirty. The sheriff seemed honest, but Cole could not be sure. FBI was compromised, according to Ryan. That left federal prosecutors, journalists, someone outside Montana with no skin in the game. But first they needed to survive long enough to get the evidence out. The attack came on the third day. Cole was chopping wood behind the cabin when Ranger went stiff. Ears up, a low growl building in his chest. Cole dropped the axe, reached for the pistol he now kept on his belt, scanned the tree line. 3 men, coming through the snow, spreading out, tactical formation, not amateurs. Cole moved fast, got between them and the cabin door, Ranger at his side. The men stopped 30 feet out, big, armed, the kind of hired muscle that did not ask questions. The one in the middle spoke, thick accent, Eastern European maybe. Mr. Brennan, Mr. Blackwell would like to talk. Tell Mr. Blackwell to call my lawyer. He insists. I insist he goes to hell. The man smiled, no humor in it. You are making this harder than it needs to be. Give us the old woman. Walk away. No one gets hurt. Cole's hand stayed on his pistol. Not happening. The man sighed. We were hoping you would be reasonable. He gestured. The other 2 started forward. Ranger exploded. 90 pounds of trained military dog hit the first man before he got 5 steps. The thug went down hard. Ranger's jaws locked on his forearm. Not tearing, not killing, controlling. The way he had been trained. The second man pulled a knife. Cole moved. 3 steps. A sharp blow to the wrist. The knife dropped. A second strike to the knee. The man buckled. Cole swept his legs. He went down face first into the snow. The third man, the talker, pulled a gun. Cole already had his out. Aimed. Steady, the man froze. For a long moment, nobody moved. Just 2 men with guns pointed at each other. Ranger holding down the first thug, the second groaning in the snow. Then Cole spoke, his voice calm, almost polite. Gentlemen, I cleared buildings in Kandahar with my bare hands. You really want to do this? The man with the gun looked at his partners, looked at Cole, looked at Ranger. He lowered his weapon. Tell Blackwell I said no. Tell him if he sends anyone else, they will not walk away. And tell him I know everything. Every bank transfer, every payoff, every lie. If anything happens to me or Sarah, it all goes public. The man helped his partners up. They backed away, slow, careful. When they reached the tree line, they turned and ran. Cole waited until they were gone. Then his legs gave out. He sat down hard in the snow. Adrenaline crash. His hands were shaking. His heart was racing. Ranger came over, sat beside him. The dog's breathing was steady, calm, like this was just another day. Cole laughed. It came out broken. You are one hell of a partner, boy. They went back inside. Sarah was standing by the window. She had watched the whole thing. They are getting desperate. Cole nodded, which means we are close. We have what we need. Now we just need to get it to the right people. He pulled out his phone, started making calls, old contacts, people he trusted, a JAG officer he had served with, a journalist who specialized in military corruption, a federal prosecutor in Seattle who owed him a favor. It took 3 hours, but by the end he had a plan. They would meet with the prosecutor in 1 week, hand over everything. Let the system do its job. And if the system failed, they had the journalist as backup. Either way, the story would come out. But that meant 7 more days of staying alive. 7 more days of Blackwell trying to stop them. Sarah made coffee. They sat by the fire. Ranger lay between them. Cole looked at her, really looked. She was not the confused old woman he had pulled from the snow. She was sharp, strong, a mother who had lost her son but refused to let his death be meaningless. The week crawled by. Cole kept watch, took shifts, slept in 4-hour blocks. Ranger stayed alert, ears always moving, eyes always scanning. No one came, but Cole knew better than to relax. Blackwell was not done. He was just planning, waiting for the right moment. On the 6th day, Cole got a call, unknown number. He almost did not answer, but something made him pick up. A man's voice, smooth, educated, cold. Mr. Brennan, my name is Richard Blackwell. I believe we have a mutual problem. We have nothing mutual. I think we do. You have something that belongs to me. I would like it back. Sarah is not property. I'm not talking about the old woman. I am talking about the data, the files, the recordings. I know you have them. I know what you plan to do with them. Then you know I am not going to stop. Blackwell laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. You are a firefighter, Mr. Brennan. You save lives. You follow rules. You are not built for this kind of fight. You do not know what I am built for. I know you are a veteran. I know you lost your team. I know you blame yourself. And I know you think finishing Ryan Mercer's crusade will somehow make up for your failures. Cole's grip on the phone tightened. Blackwell continued, but it will not. Nothing will. Your friends are still dead. Ryan is still dead. And when this is over, you will still be the man who survived while better men died. The words hit like bullets, each one finding a wound Cole thought had scarred over. Here is what is going to happen, Blackwell said. You will destroy the files, you will walk away, and I will make sure Sarah Mercer lives out her remaining years in comfort, a generous settlement, a nice facility, medical care, all of it. And if I refuse, then people die, starting with you, then Sarah, then anyone you have shared those files with. I have resources, Mr. Brennan, money, connections. I can make problems disappear permanently. Cole looked at Sarah, at Ranger, at the laptop sitting on the table with everything that could bring Blackwell down. You have 48 hours. After that, the offer expires. The line went dead. Cole sat there, phone still in his hand. Sarah was watching him. She had heard enough to understand. What did he say? He wants us to walk away, offered money, safety, a clean exit, and if we do not, he kills us. Sarah nodded slowly, like she had expected this. Ryan knew this would happen, knew they would threaten, bribe, do whatever it took to protect themselves. She looked at Cole. That is why he chose you, because you do not back down. Cole thought about Afghanistan, about the firefight that took his team, about the moment he had to choose between staying and dying or running and surviving. He had run, had lived, had carried that choice like a stone ever since. This time would be different. He looked at Sarah. We are going to finish this, whatever it takes. She smiled. Ryan would be proud. The 48 hours passed like slow torture. Cole barely slept. Every sound outside the cabin made his hand go to his weapon. Every time Ranger's ears twitched, Cole was on his feet, scanning the darkness beyond the windows. But nothing happened. The silence was worse than an attack. On the morning of the deadline, Cole made the call to Lieutenant Commander James Sullivan, his old JAG lawyer, the one clean contact he trusted completely. They had served together, bled together. Sullivan was the kind of man who followed the law even when it cost him. Jim, I need a favor. Sullivan's voice came through steady, calm. Name it. I need to hand over evidence in a corruption case, federal level. But I need protection for me and a civilian. How dirty are we talking? Land fraud, murder, conspiracy. Involves local law enforcement and a major developer. Maybe higher. A pause. You sure about this, Cole? I am sure. All right, give me 6 hours. I will have FBI meet you in Kalispell. Federal building, neutral ground. Bring everything you have. Cole hung up, looked at Sarah. We leave in 2 hours. Pack light. She nodded. Move slow but certain. This woman had been through hell and kept going. Cole respected that, understood it. They loaded the truck, supplies, the laptop, backup drives, everything they needed to bury Blackwell and his people. Ranger jumped in the back seat. Alert. Ready. Cole took one last look at the hunting cabin. It had kept them safe, given them time. But time was up. They drove. The road down the mountain was treacherous. Ice underneath fresh snow. The truck slipped twice, but Cole kept it steady. Years of Montana winters had taught him how to drive in conditions that would kill most people. They were 20 miles from Kalispell when the trap sprung. A truck pulled out from a side road, blocked the highway ahead. Another came up behind, boxed them in. Cole hit the brakes. The truck slid to a stop. Stay down, Sarah ducked. Ranger's hackles went up. A growl built in his chest. 4 men got out of the vehicles. Professional. Cole recognized the leader. Same man from the cabin, the talker. He walked toward Cole's truck, stopped 10 feet away, raised his hands to show he was not reaching for a weapon. Mr. Brennan, Mr. Blackwell would like to speak with you. Tell him I am busy. He insists. The other 3 men spread out, surrounding the truck. Cole's mind raced. 4 armed men, one of him, Sarah in the passenger seat, Ranger in the back. The odds were bad, but he had been in worse. His hand moved toward his pistol. The man shook his head. Do not. My orders are to bring you in alive. But accidents happen. Where is Blackwell? Close. He wants to make you an offer. Face to face, already heard his offer. This one is better. He promises. Cole looked at Sarah. She was watching him. No fear in her eyes, just trust. She believed he would get them out of this. He could not let her down. All right, I will talk, but she stays here. The man smiled. No, she comes too. Insurance, not happening. Then we do this the hard way. The men moved closer, hands on weapons. Ranger lunged at the window, barking, snarling. The glass vibrated under the force of it. The men stepped back, involuntary. You could train a man to face bullets, harder to train away the primal fear of a dog that wanted to tear your throat out. Cole made his decision. Fine, we will come. But the dog stays in the truck. The man considered. Agreed. Cole got out slowly, hands visible. Sarah followed. One of the men opened the back door. Ranger tried to jump out. Cole grabbed his collar. Stay, boy. Stay. Ranger fought it, every instinct telling him to protect, but he had been trained to follow orders. Even when it hurt. Cole closed the door. Ranger's barking turned desperate, clawing at the window. It was the hardest thing Cole had done in months. They were driven 15 minutes into the woods, an old logging road. At the end, a clearing. 3 SUVs parked in a circle, and standing in the middle, Richard Blackwell. He was younger than Cole expected. Early 50s, fit, expensive coat, the kind of man who looked like he belonged in a boardroom, not a frozen forest. Blackwell smiled when he saw them. Mr. Brennan, Mrs. Mercer, thank you for coming. We did not have much choice. There is always a choice. That is what I wanted to discuss. He gestured to a portable heater set up near one of the vehicles, trying to make this civilized, comfortable. I understand you have files. Evidence you believe implicates me in various crimes. Cole said nothing. Blackwell continued. I am prepared to make this go away. $10 million. Split however you like. You destroy the evidence. Walk away. Live your lives. And if we refuse? Blackwell's smile did not change, but something shifted in his eyes. Then we are standing in the middle of nowhere. No witnesses, no cameras. 2 people who tragically went missing during a Montana winter. It happens, especially to those who wander off suffering from dementia. Sarah spoke for the first time. her voice steady. You killed my son. Blackwell looked at her. No denial, no confirmation, just calculation. Your son made things complicated. He had to be simplified. Cole felt rage burn through his chest. White hot, blinding. You murdered 17 men. Made it look like an accident. Blackwell shrugged. Collateral damage. Unfortunate, but necessary. Ryan was gathering evidence, had to be stopped. The helicopter crash was elegant, clean. No one questioned it. Until now. Until now. Blackwell stepped closer. But it does not have to end badly. Take the money. Honor Ryan's memory by living well. Is that not what he would want for his mother? Sarah laughed. It was bitter. My son wanted justice, not blood money. Justice. Blackwell said the word like it was foreign. There is no justice, Mrs. Mercer. There is only power, and I have more of it than you. Cole spoke quietly. We will see about that. Blackwell studied him. You are a good man, Mr. Brennan. Honorable. But honor does not win wars. Money does. Leverage does. And I have both. He gestured. Two of his men grabbed Sarah, pulled her away from Cole. She is coming with me. You have 24 hours to bring me every copy of those files, every backup, every shred of evidence. When I am satisfied it is all gone, you get her back. Cole stepped forward. 3 guns came up, aimed at his chest. Easy, Mr. Brennan. You are a hero. Heroes do not die over old ladies. They make the smart choice. Sarah struggled. One of the men twisted her arm. She cried out. Cole's hands clenched into fists. Do not hurt her. Then do not make me. 24 hours. Tick-tock. They forced Sarah into one of the SUVs. She looked back at Cole, mouthed something. He could not tell what. Then they were gone. Cole stood there, alone, fury and helplessness warring in his chest. The talking man walked over, handed him keys to his truck. Your vehicle is back on the highway. Dog is still inside. Mr. Blackwell suggests you think carefully about your next move. Then he left too. Cole waited until all the engines faded. Then he ran, back to the highway, back to his truck. Ranger was going insane inside, barking, clawing. When Cole opened the door, the dog nearly knocked him over. I know, boy. I know. He pulled out his phone, called Sullivan. Jim, they took her. Who? Blackwell. He has Sarah. Gave me 24 hours to hand over the evidence or she dies. Where are you? 20 miles outside Kalispell, back road. Listen to me, Cole. Do not do anything stupid. I am calling FBI right now. We will get her back. They will kill her before FBI gets close. Then what are you going to do? What I should have done in Afghanistan. Go get my people. Cole hung up, looked at Ranger. Can you find her? Ranger's ears went up. He jumped out of the truck, nose down, started working the scent trail. Cole grabbed his gear, a rifle, extra ammunition, tactical vest he had kept from his service days. This was not a rescue. This was a raid, and Cole knew how to run raids. Ranger led him into the woods, following the path the SUVs had taken. The dog moved fast, confident. This was what he had been trained for: search and rescue, tracking, combat support. They moved for an hour, deeper into the backcountry, away from roads, away from civilization. Then Ranger stopped, went low, a warning. Cole crouched, scanned ahead. Through the trees, a structure, old hunting lodge, lights in the windows. 2 men outside, armed, sloppy, not expecting trouble. Cole counted. 2 outside, probably 4 inside based on the vehicles. 6 total, maybe more. He had faced worse odds. He waited for dark. Cold seeped through his coat, but he did not move. Did not make a sound. Ranger beside him, patient, still. When the sun set, Cole moved. He circled wide, came up on the lodge from the back. The 2 guards were smoking, talking, bored. Cole took the first one down quiet, a chokehold. The man went limp. Cole lowered him into the snow, silent. The second guard turned, saw his partner down, opened his mouth to shout. Ranger hit him low, jaws locked on his leg. The man fell. Cole was on him before he hit the ground. Another chokehold. Lights out. Two down. Cole checked the back door, unlocked. Amateurs. He went in low, rifle up, clearing corners. Movement in the main room. He moved closer. Sarah was tied to a chair, one guard watching her, another by the window, a third at the table playing moves. No sign of Blackwell or the talking man. Cole made a decision. Fast. Surgical. He stepped into the room. Rifle aimed, nobody moved. All three men froze. Hands went up. Slowly. On the ground. Now. They hesitated. Cole fired once. Into the ceiling. Plaster rained down. The men dropped. Cole kept the rifle trained on them while he moved to Sarah. Cut her restraints. Are you hurt? She shook her head. Where is Blackwell? He left. Said he would be back in the morning. Then we need to move. One of the men on the ground shifted, going for a weapon. Ranger was faster. The dog hit him like a missile. Teeth bared. The man screamed. Cole pulled Ranger back. Easy, boy. We are done here. He zip-tied all three men, hands behind backs, ankles together. Gagged them with duct tape. Then he called Sullivan. I have her. Sending you coordinates. Tell FBI if they want Blackwell, they need to move now. He will be here at dawn. Cole, what did you do? My job. They waited in the woods. Cole, Sarah, and Ranger, hidden, watching the lodge. FBI arrived 2 hours before dawn. Quiet, professional. They surrounded the area, set up positions. Sullivan was with them. He found Cole in the darkness. You are insane. Maybe. They could have killed her, but they did not. Sullivan shook his head, but he was smiling. At dawn, Blackwell's SUV rolled up. He got out, confident, relaxed, a man who thought he had already won. FBI moved in, fast, hard. Blackwell went down before he understood what was happening. Guns, badges, shouting. He looked around, saw his men in custody, saw FBI agents everywhere. Then he saw Cole, standing at the edge of the tree line, Sarah beside him. Blackwell's face went white. You, me, yeah. An agent read Blackwell his rights, cuffed him, led him toward a vehicle. But before they put him in, he shouted, this does not end here, Brennan. I have lawyers. I have connections. I will be out in 24 hours. Cole walked closer, looked Blackwell in the eye. No, you will not. Because every file, every recording, every piece of evidence Ryan collected, it is already with federal prosecutors in 3 states. And the Seattle Times is running the story in tomorrow's paper. You are done. Blackwell's expression crumbled. They drove him away. The hearing was set for 2 weeks later. Flathead County Courthouse, packed gallery, news cameras. This was the biggest case Montana had seen in decades. Patricia Caldwell sat at the defense table, pale, shaking. Her lawyers whispered frantically. Deputy Thornton was beside her, still in uniform, still pretending he was a good cop. Blackwell had his own team, expensive suits, slicked hair, the kind of lawyers who made problems disappear. But not this time. The prosecutor was a woman named Elizabeth Lawson, federal, Seattle-based. Sullivan had recommended her. She had built her career prosecuting corruption. She stood, addressed the judge. Your Honor, the evidence we will present shows a conspiracy spanning 3 years. Land fraud, bribery, and the murder of Captain Ryan Mercer, a decorated Navy SEAL who died trying to expose this corruption. Blackwell's lawyer stood. Objection. There is no evidence linking Mr. Blackwell to Captain Mercer's death. The helicopter crash was ruled an accident. Lawson smiled. We have audio recordings, bank transfers, and testimony from 3 individuals with direct knowledge of the conspiracy. One of whom, I might add, was sitting at this table until he accepted a plea deal this morning. The gallery erupted. The judge banged his gavel. Order. Patricia Caldwell looked like she might be sick. Lawson continued. We also have evidence that Deputy Thornton, acting on Mr. Blackwell's orders, attempted to intimidate and harm Sarah Mercer, including arson, kidnapping, and conspiracy to commit murder. Thornton's lawyer jumped up. This is absurd. Deputy Thornton is a decorated officer who accepted $200,000 in bribes over 18 months. We have the bank records. The lawyer sat down. Lawson turned to the judge. Your Honor, the United States government requests that all defendants be held without bail pending trial. They are flight risks with substantial financial resources. The judge looked at the three defendants, at the evidence stacked on the prosecutor's table, at the crowd of reporters scribbling notes. Bail denied. Patricia put her head in her hands. Thornton stared straight ahead, emotionless. Blackwell leaned forward, stared at Cole sitting in the gallery. His mouth moved. Cole could read the words. This is not over. Cole stared back. Yes, it is. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Witness after witness. Document after document. The case Lawson built was airtight, ironclad. On the final day, she played Ryan's video, the one where he laid out everything he had found. His voice filled the courtroom. Clear, strong, a ghost testifying from beyond the grave. When it ended, there was not a dry eye in the room. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty, on all counts. Blackwell got 30 years, no parole. Thornton got 20, Patricia got 15. 8 other co-conspirators got sentences ranging from 5 to 12 years. The corruption network Ryan had died trying to expose was destroyed. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed. Cole walked past them, Sarah on his arm, Ranger at his side. One journalist managed to get close. Mr. Brennan, how does it feel to get justice for Captain Mercer? Cole stopped, looked at the camera. It does not bring him back. Does not bring any of them back. But maybe now they can rest. What will you do now? Take care of his mother, honor his memory, try to be the man he thought I was. They walked away. The cameras kept flashing, but Cole did not look back. The guardianship hearing was a formality. Sarah's dementia was real but manageable. With proper care, she could live independently, but she needed support. Someone to make sure she took her medication. Someone to be there when the fog came. The judge looked at Cole. Mr. Brennan, you understand the responsibilities of guardianship. Yes, Your Honor, you are not family. No, ma'am. But I am all she has, and she is all I have. The judge studied him, then signed the papers. Granted, Sarah smiled, reached over and squeezed Cole's hand. Thank you. You do not need to thank me. This is what Ryan wanted, what I should have done from the start. 6 months later, Cole stood at the cemetery, new headstone, black granite, polished. Captain Ryan Mercer, United States Navy, hero, son, patriot. Below that, a new line. He died protecting the truth. Sarah stood beside him, her hand resting on the cold stone. He would have liked you, Cole. I hope so. She smiled. He trusted you. That meant something. Ryan did not trust easily. Cole looked down at Ranger. The dog sat between them, quiet, at peace. He trained him well. He trained him to find the right person. And he did. They stood there for a while, just breathing, just remembering. Then Sarah spoke again, softer. I pray for you both every night, you and Ryan. I ask God to watch over you, to give you peace. Cole did not know what to say. He had not prayed in years, not since Afghanistan. But standing here with Sarah's hand on the gravestone and Ranger at his feet, he felt something. Not peace, not yet, but maybe the beginning of it. Thank you. They walked back to the truck together. Sarah got in, turned to him. Dinner tonight, 6 o'clock. Pot roast. Yes, ma'am, she smiled. Bring Ranger. He has his own place at the table now. That evening, the three of them sat together. The fourth chair stayed empty, but not forgotten. Ryan's photo on the mantle, his dog tags beside it. After dinner, Cole and Ranger walked home under Montana stars. Behind them, Sarah stood on her porch, watching. At peace, for the first time in 8 months, Cole slept without nightmares. The next morning, the bus rolled down Maple Creek Drive, 7:05, same as always. Frank Hastings was behind the wheel, silver hair, steady hands. He smiled when he saw the shape waiting at the corner. Ranger sat at the bus stop, tail wagging slowly. The doors opened. The dog climbed aboard. Frank reached down, scratched behind his ears. Morning, soldier. Got your rounds to make. The kids cheered when they saw him. A girl in the third row had saved part of her breakfast. She held it out. Ranger took it gently. Another boy leaned over the seat. Did you save anyone today, Ranger? Frank looked in the rearview mirror, smiled. Every day, son. Every day. The bus pulled away. Ranger settled into his spot. Up front, where he could see everything. He was not searching anymore, not looking for anyone. That mission was complete. Now he had a new one. Smaller, quieter, but just as important. Bring joy, bring comfort. Remind people that loyalty does not end, that love does not forget. At 2:15, he would ride back, go home to Cole, sleep by the fire, wake up and do it all again. Above, somewhere beyond the stars, Ryan Mercer rested. His mother safe, his brother whole, his dog still serving. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Some bonds do not break, not with distance, not with time, not even with death. And in a small town in Montana, in the quiet moments between heartbeats, 3 souls found what they had been searching for. Not redemption, not forgiveness, just peace, and that was enough.